All right, let's jump right in. We're all hearing about artificial intelligence constantly, but today we're going to look at a totally different way to think about our future with it. We're not talking about a threat. We're talking about a toolkit for figuring out who we are.
I mean, this is the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? It's this constant hum of anxiety in the background, this feeling that these super intelligent machines are just around the corner, ready to make us all obsolete. And it's a huge deal, especially if you're young and trying to map out your future.
And look, this isn't just some vague worry. The numbers are pretty jarring. A huge majority of young people are genuinely scared about how AI will affect their careers. But check this out. This is the really interesting part. A huge number also say they can't even explain what makes them special, and well over half just don't feel confident in their own value. That's not a tech problem, that's a confidence crisis.
So this brings us right into our first big idea, what we can call the automation anxiety. It's basically the main story we're all being told about AI. Yeah, this story is everywhere. But here's the kicker. It totally misses the point. The whole idea here is that AI doesn't actually erase our human value. It does the opposite. It makes it clearer. Things like creativity, good judgment, empathy, those become our superpowers now. The problem is, nobody's really helping young people see it that way.
And that gets us to the real problem. This isn't just about robots and algorithms. It's a full-blown crisis of identity. And boom, this is the big reframe. This is the whole thing. What if we've been asking the completely wrong question? Instead of stressing about how to beat the machines, what if the real question is, who am I in a world with these machines? The second you make that shift, the conversation changes from competition to self-discovery. And this is where you see the huge gap in how we're teaching people about AI. Most programs are all about skills, how to write a good prompt, how to use the tools. They end with a certificate you can put on LinkedIn. But they're skipping the most important part, helping you figure out your unique place in all this. They're just giving you information. They're not creating any real transformation.
So how do we fix this? Well, the YMCA has actually come up with a really compelling answer. It's a model called Augmented Agency, and it's all about how to not just survive, but actually thrive in an AI world.
So what is Augmented Agency? Well, it's definitely not another course on how to use AI. The program has this great motto: AI is the context, not the curriculum. See, the real purpose is to help you figure out who you are, what you're about, and what you stand for, and you just happen to be using AI as a kind of guide on that journey.
And the whole thing is built on these three really powerful principles. First, it's about transformation, not just information. It's meant to change you, not just teach you. Second, you have to earn your own insights. The AI isn't going to spit out a personality report for you. And third, and this one is absolutely crucial, it's about getting real-world proof of what you can do, not just practicing in a fake environment.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like? How does it work? Let's walk through what this 6-week journey of discovery is actually all about.
So, the whole program is broken down into these 6 phases. Each one is designed to build on the one before it, and it takes you all the way from just looking inward to applying what you've learned in the real world, and finally, to finding your place in a community. It all kicks off with the mirror. This is where you have these really deep conversations, guided by AI. The AI asks you all these questions to help you spot patterns in your own life and experiences. But here's the thing. It never gives you the answer. You have to be the one to look at the evidence and name your own strengths.
Next up is the shadow, and honestly, this part is brilliant. Because to really truly know yourself, you can't just focus on the good stuff. You have to understand your blind spots, your weaknesses. This phase isn't about making you feel bad. It's about building an honest, credible, and complete picture of who you are, warts and all.
Okay, so after you've identified your strengths in the mirror and faced your limitations in the shadow, you go through the witness, where you see yourself through other people's eyes, and then the compass, where you really define what you stand for. And it all leads up to this, phase 5, the crucible. This is where the rubber meets the road. You have to take on a real-world challenge with real stakes. We're talking about researching a local problem and then actually presenting your solution to a real decision maker, like someone from city council. This is where confidence is truly forged.
And that right there brings us to the absolute core difference between this approach and pretty much everything else out there. It's this laser focus on proof, not just practice. And when you put them side by side, the difference just pops, right? Typical programs are about AI tools, and they end with a certificate. Augmented Agency is about your identity, and it ends with you belonging to a community. One is a transaction. The other is a transformation.
this one idea is really at the heart of it all. Look, it's one thing to practice something in a safe little sandbox. That builds competence, for sure. But it is a whole other universe to have actual, real-world proof that you can do it. To have evidence that you can perform under pressure, create real value for a real audience. That builds a kind of deep, unshakable confidence that nobody can ever take away from you.
So, let's just wrap it all up. Here are the 5 things that make this model so different. 1. Your insights are earned. They're not handed to you. 2. It includes your shadow side for a full, honest picture. 3. It's validated by other people who actually know you. 4. It's tested in the real world. And 5. It ends with a community, not just a piece of paper.
So what's the big picture here? What is all of this work really for? Well, it's about one thing: securing the human advantage.
The real finish line isn't a graduation day. It's more like an opening day. It's the moment you're welcomed into a network of people who have all been on this same intense journey and who are all committed to helping each other keep growing.
And that community has a name: the Guild. Think of it as a global network of peers who've all done the hard work of getting to know themselves. It provides connections, mentorship, and real opportunities with companies that are actively looking for people who understand their unique human value. This is where the real, lasting impact happens.
And ultimately, the vision for all of this is to help build a future where we see technology as a partner that amplifies our best human qualities, our creativity, our wisdom, our empathy, instead of something we see as a threat that's here to replace us.
Which brings us right back to the most important question of all, the one this whole journey is designed to help you answer. It's not about what AI can do, it's about you. In an age of truly intelligent machines, what is it that makes you, uniquely and powerfully, irreplaceable?